Hi guys, welcome back to another monthly meal prep. So if you missed my last video, I did 30 meals in one day for the freezer. Now, of course, those were dinners, and obviously I can use the leftovers from them for lunches, but we were in need of some breakfast items. So I went to kind of planning out a few freezer-friendly breakfast things, and I believe all of these are new recipes. I don't think I've made any of these before, but let me tell you, this is one of the best preps I have done, especially this first recipe here. Oh my goodness, we are going to be enjoying this, and it does take a little bit of work to prep, but the beauty of it is whenever we want to eat it, we can pull it out of the freezer and it's all made up for us. So this is some strawberries and cream stuffed French toast. Yes, you heard me right. Oh, so good. And it really was simple, but it was a process to kind of get it all fried up and prepped. So I made the filling there first, as you saw, and per usual, the recipes will either be written or linked in the description box so you can easily find them there. After I made the filling, I whipped up a cinnamon, egg, and milk mixture to soak the French toast in before putting it onto a buttered frying pan. If you follow the recipe in the description box, I did double it, so I think I got about 16 servings out of this. And of course, there's 2 slices of bread each. You could easily make this gluten-free by just using gluten-free bread. And you can serve these with whipped cream, with syrup, with fresh strawberries, a little bit of powdered sugar, and they're absolutely delicious. To freeze them, I just used some press and seal wrap, and I wrapped them individually, and then I put them inside of freezer bags, and they froze perfectly like this. And if you're going to put them in your deep freezer, I think they would last a long time in there. And then to reheat these, all I do is put them into my air fryer for a few minutes on the reheat setting, and they come out just like they were pulled off of the frying pan. So for this next recipe, I went ahead and put some bacon into the air fryer to get it all fried up. After it was fried, I pulled it out and chopped it into some bacon bits, and I decided to make some egg cups. Now, these are a little bit different. I've never made them this way, and that is putting a slice of ham in the bottom of the muffin form. I just feel like it really helps to hold the egg bite together. Sometimes my egg bites don't hold together as well, so I wanted to try out this method, and I think I'll probably do something down this line from now on because it really helped my egg bites stay together. Also, I did use a silicone muffin mold for these. I think that the muffin molds give you a little bit more space whenever the egg kind of inflates in the oven and then sinks back down instead of using a cupcake mold. So after I put the egg on top of the slices of ham, I put some cheese in, I put my bacon pieces that I had made in the air fryer, and then I topped it off with some green onion. After they were done in the oven, I pulled them out to cool, and then I did end up making a couple batches of these, and these freeze so well. You just put them into a gallon bag and you can pull out as many as you need at a time. Okay, this next recipe, I don't know, it may be in competition with the first recipe, but this one was a score in our household. It is a lemon poppy seed blueberry baked oatmeal. And I felt like this was such a great recipe for summertime, giving a great summer twist on baked oatmeal, because I know a lot of you probably make it in the colder months whenever you want something warm and comfy in the morning. But this is a great option to kind of bring a fresher taste to baked oatmeal. So I just put all of the wet ingredients in first and whisked it up, and then I added in my dry ingredients. And to fill up a cookie sheet, I did actually triple this batch. So I always tell you guys, if you have large families, just remember you can double, triple, or even more times the recipe and make it for your needs. And so I'm really glad this turned out so well, because I did get a good amount of servings from it and it baked up perfectly. I wasn't sure if it was going to overflow in the oven, but it didn't, and it was the perfect amount for my pan. After that, I made up a Greek yogurt drizzle to go across the tops of them. I decided to cut them into my portion sizes first and then do the drizzle. I thought maybe it would be a little bit of a sticky mess if I did it in the pan and then tried to cut it into portion sizes. So I drizzled everything and then I kind of let it all set before I put it into gallon bags and labeled it. And again, this is another easy thing to pull out of the freezer and just get as many servings as you need for that morning. If you guys have been around for a while, you know I love using my mini waffle maker, and again, kind of looking for a summer spin on some waffles. I decided to do an apple cinnamon waffle, and these waffles are so freezer friendly just because you, again, can pull out as many as you need out of a bag that's sitting in the freezer, and I like to warm them up in the air fryer, and these are so good. And I wanted to make a quick side note that if you are gluten-free, just make sure that you use gluten-free flour instead of regular flour, and you will have yourself some gluten-free waffles. And these are so delicious that my daughters actually don't mind eating them without syrup because of the chunks of apple in it. It just gives it that extra moisture and makes them really, really delicious. I would definitely categorize this waffle maker as an Amazon find. It is one of my favorite Amazon purchases, and I was just saying to my mom the other day that I may end up purchasing a second one so that on days when I'm making big batches of waffles, they're easy to just kind of get through it a little bit faster. Plus, it's super inexpensive, so I will have that linked below along with some other Amazon finds. And I am working on updating my Amazon shop, so that's linked below where you guys can find all of my Amazon favorites. So don't forget to check that out. So if you want a savory breakfast option, but you don't want to go through the process of making egg bites, this is a good option for you. So I cut up some peppers and onions, and I kind of put them in a frying pan just to get them softened up a little bit into this breakfast casserole. So I did do 20 eggs and some salt and some pepper in my mixer, and then I sprayed down my cookie sheet really, really well. I put some hash browns on the bottom, and then I had actually, before I was filming this, had fried up about 2 pounds of ground sausage, so I put that on there. I put my veggies on there. I dumped the eggs over it and covered it all with cheese and threw it in the oven, and as you can see, it makes this delicious, kind of like a large batch of omelets, and then they're really simple to warm up, and you can top them with hot sauce or ketchup or whatever you enjoy most. You could also make this dairy-free by not adding the cheese in. All right, so I decided to do a little bit of baking in this round of prepping, just to have some baked goods in the freezer. And I'm gonna forewarn you, you guys know I do a lot of healthy options here on my channel. You know that I like to find things that are keto friendly, gluten-free, dairy-free, give you guys all the options for those of you that need those things for your family. But these two recipes are nothing healthy. I'm just gonna say it. They aren't healthy, but they are some of our family's favorites when it comes to having a treat. So the first one here that I'm whipping up is some whoopie pies. And if you're not from Pennsylvania area, which is obviously where I live, then you probably don't know what a whoopie pie is. I've said that to people that live out of state and they're like, what? A whoopie pie is basically a very large dessert sandwich cookie type thing, and it's pretty popular among Mennonites and among people that live in Pennsylvania. So I just kind of whipped up, it's kind of a cakey cookie, so I whipped up that batter first, got them baked up, and then I made the filling. There is a few different recipes out there for the filling of whoopie pies. This one I had never made before. It had egg whites that were whipped up to be folded into it, and but there is other options. I know there's one that has marshmallow fluff in it. There's a few different ways you can make it. So after I mixed up the filling, I actually divided it out and had half of it left vanilla, and then the other half I mixed in some peanut butter to give us a chocolate peanut butter option. And I'll be honest with you, I wasn't thrilled with how my cookies turned out for this. Generally, they don't look all crackly on top like these do, but I like to show you guys even whenever things don't work out perfectly, and they were still just as delicious. All right, this is another family favorite of ours, and that is maple cookies. And to be honest, the cookie itself is nothing extra special. It's pretty much a buttermilk sugar cookie with maple in it, but the special part is what goes on top of these. It is a cooked up brown sugar topping that is delicious, and I don't know if I've ever had it on anything else. But I promise if you make this recipe, you will be thanking me, and it could become a family favorite for you as well. So I mixed up the cookie batter, got it all onto my cookie sheets that were lined with parchment paper. I just like to use parchment paper for easier cleanup. And I got those popped into the oven, and then once they were done baking, I got them cooling as quickly as I could so I could get the topping on them. So this topping, or I don't know quite what to call it. I don't know if it's an icing, maybe it could be an icing. You cook it on the stovetop. So you brown up your butter, you get brown sugar in there, you have some maple syrup, obviously they are maple cookies, and then you put your powdered sugar in, and it makes this like super smooth, fudgy, decadent topping that is just so good. And these are also extremely good eaten out of the freezer frozen as well. It's another way we like to enjoy them, and they freeze extremely well. So you just go through with your topping and put it on top, and then you do want to let it harden kind of on the top of the cookie, kind of get it cooled down and everything before you put it into your freezer bags. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this gave you some inspiration and some great breakfast ideas or snack ideas. And I am so glad to have all of this in the freezer, and will last me probably a good month for our breakfasts. And don't forget to give this video a like, comment below, tell me which recipe you enjoyed the most, and I'll see you guys in my next video.